Chapter 16, The CEO's Bed Trap. Lizzie's head was full of question marks. Just yesterday she'd called James a brainless idiot, and today he actually handed her a key and told her to take a shower? She even wondered, did insulting him actually excite him? In the end, she muttered her conclusion, yep, confirmed, total idiot. Stepping into his office, she froze. The sofa, the decor, the space, it was absurdly luxurious. Without hesitation, she darted into the shower, letting the hot water wash away her exhaustion. When she stepped out, refreshed, she sighed with relief. Finally, I feel alive again. Rejuvenated, she planned to get back to work. But as she bent down to pick up a towel, her eyes landed on the large, soft bed. Her expression softened. Temptation struck. After a long hesitation, she whispered to herself, I'll just nap until 5, no one will ever know. Except she slept until morning. In her dream, Andy knelt on one knee, holding a ring. Lizzie, marry me. Tears welled in her eyes. Andy, I do. But before the words were complete, a cold voice cut through her dream. Is your work finished? Lizzie jolted awake, heart racing. She was still in the CEO's office bed. Frantically grabbing her phone, she saw the time. Almost 9 a.m. Panic exploded inside her. God, work started ages ago. Her imagination went wild. Would coworkers whisper behind her back? Would they say she wasn't innocent? Would they suspect she was trying to seduce the boss? She forced herself to calm down, creeping toward the door. Just as she reached for the handle, bang! The door swung open. She stumbled to the floor, looking up in horror. James stood there, face cold and unreadable. Lizzie forced a stiff smile and stammered, Good morning, James. Her mind screamed doomed, absolutely doomed. James's voice was sharp, unforgiving. Why are you still here? Chapter 17. Early in the morning, James pushed open the door and froze slightly when he saw Lizzie still inside. Lizzie's heart jumped, nerves tightening. She quickly lowered her voice. Shh, keep it down. James raised a brow. I only told you to take a shower. How did that end with you climbing into my bed? Lizzie's face went pale. She hurried to admit fault. I really didn't expect to oversleep. Please, think of a way to help me sneak out. Watching her flustered panic, James looked helpless, about to turn and leave. Lizzie blurted out, desperate, Don't go, I was wrong. At last, James tossed out a lifeline. I'll call an all-staff meeting, leave while everyone's distracted. Lizzie froze, suspicious. Could it be that my sincerity actually worked? No mockery this time, and he even helped me? Before leaving, James added flatly, and tidy your hair while you're at it. Lizzie only wanted to escape. She nodded at once. In the hallway, colleagues noticed her lateness. Lizzie forced a smile, explaining lightly, I slept too well at home last night, accidentally overslept. A coworker even reminded her kindly to take care of her health. Lizzie could only laugh stiffly, hiding her unease. By noon, a call came through. Lizzie, go to James's office. Her stomach dropped. Did something go missing? Is he going to blame me? Nervously, she walked in. James gave a cold wave of his hand. Come here. The next moment, something pink tied with a bow landed on the desk before her. Lizzie froze. It was her underwear. The one she'd changed out of last night. She had left it here. The air solidified. Shame flooded her so strongly she wanted to crawl into a hole. Inside, she screamed, Someone give me a rope. I'll just hang myself now. But James completely misunderstood. His face darkened. You'd better forget what happened at the bar. If you can't, then go home. Don't stay here. Lizzie's fury exploded. Playing hard to get? With you? You think you're worthy? Her anger surged. She jabbed a finger at him and shouted, That night I was drunk. Otherwise, why on earth would I ever seduce you? Overcome by emotion, she jabbed a finger at him, shouting, Get this straight. Even if the sky collapses, even if the sun and moon merge, even if you were the last man left in this world, I would never consider you. With that, she spun on her heel and bolted out of the office. James instinctively moved to call her back. But it was already too late. Chapter 18. Lizzie was on high alert in the office, her mind focused on a single thought. I absolutely cannot let Mr. Zhuang look down on me. Just then her phone rang. The caller, Andy. Andy said he was handling some business near Lingxi Company and thought he'd take the chance to invite her to dinner. Lizzie glanced at the pile of documents on her desk and had to decline. Let's make up for it after I finish my task on the 23rd. She didn't even have time to watch a movie, and her Ding Talk notifications had piled up to 99 plus. Work had her completely tied up. Andy could only remind her gently, "Even if you're busy, take care of yourself." Lizzie nodded softly in response. An hour later, her phone rang again. Lizzie was in a bad mood, her tone impatient. "What is it now?" Andy asked if she was still at the office, adding that he was just downstairs. Lizzie was a little surprised, but agreed to go see him. At the company entrance, Andy waved at her. He smiled, holding up a bag of takeout. "I know you love Songpoo's crayfish, so I packed 2 portions. Already peeled, you can eat them with a toothpick. Won't take up your time." Lizzie froze for a moment. It wasn't that he insisted on meeting her, that he had come all this way just to bring her food. What made her heart skip a beat was that Andy had spent a few $100 and crossed the distance just to deliver these 2 portions of crayfish and say a few words to her. This man, who wasn't well off, still used the simplest, clumsiest way to care for her. Tears welled in Lizzie's eyes as she hugged him tightly. "Andy, thank you." Andy was stunned, his ears turning red. Seeing that he hadn't eaten, Lizzie led him to a park bench. Bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, they sat shoulder to shoulder, eating crayfish and chatting about trivial things. This was exactly the scene Lizzie had often imagined in high school, sitting on a bench under the sunset with the one you liked, sharing a meal, warm, yet tinged with a hint of melancholy. Andy reminded her again, "Don't work too late, take care of yourself." Lizzie teased that he sounded like a mother, but she accepted it willingly. Then, Lizzie's expression suddenly stiffened, because a familiar figure appeared before her, James. His gaze landed coldly on Andy, without the slightest attempt to hide his hostility. The air froze instantly. Lizzie's heart tightened as she thought, "This is bad." Chapter 19. James's expression was stern, radiating an undeniable pressure. Lizzie rolled her eyes inwardly. This guy really has no manners. It's fine if he dislikes me, but why is he staring at Andy like a hawk? Back in the office, Lizzie looked at the pile of documents on her desk and sighed helplessly. So much work still to do. At least I got a little rest yesterday. Just then, her phone rang. She pinched the bridge of her nose. Again? On the other end, it was Andy. He asked cautiously, "That guy in sportswear I saw in the lobby, who was he?" Lizzie replied casually, "My boss." Andy's tone grew serious. "After you went upstairs, he came to ask me about our relationship. I feel he seems hostile toward me." "Lizzie, is he interested in you?" Lizzie froze for a moment, nearly laughing out loud. "Are you kidding me? He dreams of kicking me out of Langshang. Interested in me? Ha! That'd happen when the sun rises from the west." Andy sighed, reminding her to be careful. No matter what, she had to resolve her boss's prejudice against her. Lizzie nodded decisively. "Don't worry, I'll turn this situation around." After hanging up, Lizzie immediately threw herself into work. The next day. The atmosphere in the Langsheng Group conference room was tense. Lizzie took a deep breath, silently encouraging herself. Stay calm and composed. Trust yourself. The click of high heels echoed as she walked to the display screen for Langsheng New Insurance. She bowed, raised her pointer, and began her presentation. Her logic was clear and structured. From actuarial calculations to claim assessments, she broke down complex data in a way everyone could understand. When she finished, she bowed again in thanks. The room erupted in applause. Meanwhile, James's lips curved slightly into a smile. Lizzie froze, almost thinking she'd imagined it. Wait, he's smiling? Linda excitedly rushed over. "Lizzie, you were amazing today. Your logic is scientific. Your thinking is brilliant." Lizzie finally allowed herself to smile, all thanks to those late nights. Then Linda leaned closer and whispered, "I think James likes you. He kept glancing at you a few times." Lizzie instantly went ballistic. "Are you blind?" Linda insisted. "Really?" "I saw it clearly." His eyes were full of admiration. Lizzie yelled at her, "Get lost!" She even tickled Linda, making her laugh and beg for mercy. But as Lizzie turned back, a shiver ran down her spine. Wait, could what Linda said be true? That expression? Why is it giving me goosebumps? Chapter 20. 2 days later, a thick stack of documents was placed on James's desk, and a staff member reported, "All departments have signed off." James lowered his head to review them, his gaze cold and stern. Lizzie stood nearby, her palms sweating nervously. Finally, James picked up a pen and swiftly signed through the stack. At that moment, Lizzie let out a long breath. "Finally, it's over." James spoke lightly. "Well done." A surge of warmth and pride washed over Lizzie. Half a month of tasks that others thought impossible, she had made it through. I haven't failed my role, and I haven't let the team down. General Manager Lin walked over, patting her shoulder. Lizzie, you did great. Lizzie couldn't help but bow, smiling as she thanked him. The thank you, everyone. Before she could finish, her body suddenly wobbled, and she fell straight to the floor. Lizzie. The people around gasped, chaos erupting instantly. Scene shift, night. Lizzie lay on a hospital bed, an IV inserted in her arm. She suddenly opened her eyes, staring at the glaring white lights and medical instruments, her mind a blank. Where am I? Then a familiar voice spoke. You're awake. Lizzie looked up in terror and saw James. Ah! Why are you here? She jumped upright in fright. James looked exasperated, then walked over. Lizzie tensed instinctively, but he merely bent down, gently pulling the blanket over her. Don't move. Lizzie's cheeks flushed red instantly. She stubbornly protested. I'm fine. I want to go back. James stared at her, his expression icy. Lizzie shouted in irritation. What are you looking at? A few seconds of silence passed before James finally spoke, his voice low and grave. You had a miscarriage. You need to stay lying down. Boom! The words hit Lizzie like a thunderclap, freezing her in place. What? Her voice trembled, eyes wide with shock. Pregnant? I was pregnant? Lizzie murmured to herself, tears welling in her eyes. And now? It's gone. The scene froze on her face of utter disbelief, an unforeseen truth, shattering her world completely.